We'll wait for Tapas. Okay, I think I'll just start with a recap, right? While people are joining, I'll do a quick recap. I'll share my screen. Okay, so we started with this the first time we started introducing. I'm audible, right? And screen is visible?
No, there. It is.
Okay. So we said Vrittihi Chaturvidha. Vritti Chaturvidha means there are broadly four categories or four ways in which in Sanskritam we can coin new words. And what are those four ways? We said Krit Vrittihi, taking a verb and then creating new words from that using Krit Pratyas. And Tadita Vritti is taking a Pratipadikam and creating new words from that using Tadita Pratyas. Then Samasas, that is combining Pratipadikams to form new Pratipadikam. And Dhatu Vritti is creating a Dhatu, either from an existing Dhatu using Sanadi Pratyaya or from a Pratipadikam itself using some other Pratyas for that, right? To create Nama Dhatus. So this is what we started with saying. There are four ways in which, so every word in Sanskritam that we coin will have to be one of these four ways. In that, we are saying we started with what is Samasa and we are focusing on the Samasa part. So just to see where we are in terms of what we are learning and where that fits into the whole thing. Okay, the next thing within Samasas, what did we do? We defined a few things, right? Let's recap that. Samasa is made up of combination of Pratipadikams only. There is no Dhatu here. Only Pratipadikams can be combined. And when you're combining, it must be Pratipadikam form, not any Vibhakti form. Okay, so this is a default rule. Every time everywhere in Sanskritam, you'll always find a rule which is like 99% applicable, and then there'll be an exception also. So we will
Sir, one
look at it.
clarification here. Sir, one
Yeah.
clarification. When we say only Pratipadikams combine, what happens in this Upapada Samasas?
Upada Samas are also Pratipadikams only. So
We take the
there are two
Dhatu.
Pratipadikams. Let's do an example of an Upada Samasa. Let's
Kumbham,
say Kumbham
Kumbham
Karoti
Karoti iti
Kumbhakaraha. So there also the Samasa is between two words, two Pratipadikams called Kumbha and Kara. Kara is a Pratipadikam derived from Kru Dhatu using a Krit Pratyaya called An. So first Kru Dhatu is taken, converted to a Pratipadikam, and then this Pratipadikam gets combined with the Upapada.
Oh, so Kara is no longer a Dhatu. Okay.
Yeah, it's no longer a Dhatu because we have changed Kru to Kara using a Krit Pratyaya.
Okay, understood, sir. Thank you. Right.
Likewise, anything, Upapade Nini, Upapade Quip, everything is the same. You first create a Pratipadikam from a Dhatu using a Krit Pratyaya, and then that Pratipadikam is compounded. Okay, so
Got it.
it's always, so there are two things. It's always between Pratipadikams, there are two things to remember. One is that therefore it will not involve Dhatu is one thing. Second thing, it will be the Pratipadikam. Okay, and it will not be any Vibhakti form of a Pratipadikam. Okay, now the next thing we also did was, can we just take any two Pratipadikams and combine to form a Samasa? Answer is no. The Pratipadikams must have some relationship, predefined relationship, and the relationships are defined already in the language. Only if the two Pratipadikams have that certain relationship that is already defined, you can actually compound. And by combining, by compounding, the definition also tells you what is the resultant relationship, resultant meaning, right, of the samasa. So that's another thing we learned. Just because two pradipadikams can combine doesn't mean you can take any two pradipadikams and combine. They first have to have a relationship, and that must be one of the accepted relationships for combining into a samasa. Therefore, the study of samasa now goes into what are these accepted relationships, right? Only if you know that, we can actually study compounds. That is where we reached. Okay. Now, before that, other thing we again covered was that every time in each of these templates, in each of these relationships, when we say such a such relationship can actually compound to form another pratipadikam, we always have to ask, because we are creating a new pratipadikam, we always have to ask ourselves and satisfied that what is the resultant pratipadikam in terms of type. Is it a noun? Is it an adverb? Is it a verb? Sorry, it can't be a verb. Is it a noun, adverb, adjective? Right? Or a VM, whatever it is. So what is the output? Second, if it is a noun, then we also need to know what is the lingam. If an adjective, we know it can be used in all three lingams. So the question is we have to ask is what is the form of its three lingam? Is there any change to be done to a? So three lingam, there are three things. Right? Either you change to a, you change to e, or you do nothing. So we need to know that aspect because we have coined a new word. We need to know because existing words we know. Existing words in Sanskritam, the rules tell you what is the three form. For example, if you take an adjective called Vishala, we know the three form is Vishala. You have to add an A there. For Sundara, we know it is Sundari. For Gaura, Gaura means white, we know it is Gauri. How do we know for words which we have coined newly? If you have coined a new adjective, then we need a way. So each samasa definition, the template definition, will not only have to tell which two pratipadikams can form a compound, it should also tell what is the resultant type, and if it is an adjective, what happens to the three form. So all that comes under the template definition. Of course, if it is a noun, it has to tell what is a lingam. Fine. And then only that helps us finally to that establishes what the resultant pratipadikam. So we should know the resultant pratipadikam, its lingam or whatever three form or whatever. Some all those properties are required for us to use the pratipadikam in a sentence because we need to know its vibhakti form. We need to know what table to look up. So all these properties help us. Okay, that's the recap. Now we go to therefore what are those different relationships or what are those the what are the two types of pratipadikams that can be compounded to form a samasa. And that's where we drew this chart and we said depending on the pradhanyam, the classification has been done into four types: tat purusha, bahuvrihi, avyabhava, and dvandva. These are the four types of the relationships or templates. Within that, right now we're looking at tat purusha. Within tat purusha, we are looking at samanya tat purusha, which is the vibhakti relationships. So if the two words, the first word has a vibhakti relationship with the second word, then will they compound? Not always, right? Not always. If even if vibhakti relationship exists, doesn't mean it can compound. We're looking at what relationships within that vibhakti relationship, what type of words can compound. In that, we have seen Dvitiya Tatpurusha can compound only with those 7 words. Tritiya Tatpurusha, we saw four types of words that can, the pairs that can compound. Chaturthi Tatpurusha, again, we saw a list of 4 5 words plus maybe 1 or 2 templates. Panchami Tatpurusha, again, we saw list of words as well as some kind of a template. So this is where we are right now. So I just want to recap this. So far clear? Any questions in this?
Yes.
Anyone else joined after that? Okay.
Clear.
See. Lata and Tabas have also joined. Okay, good. Clear so far, right? So shall we proceed from here? So
Yes,
go
sir.
back to
Yes,
the
sir.
Yes, sir.
clear.
Yes,
Now
sir.
let's
We can
go back
proceed.
to,
Yeah, I like it.
okay. We'll go to Kanika, we'll go to Samasa Kanika. And again, we'll just quickly recap. Samase Pratipadikana me Bhavanam. That's what I've already told now. And within that, therefore, since only Pratipadikam comes, the Vachanam is
Sir,
not indicated in
one
the
sec
compound.
before
Mhm.
sir, one sec before we move on. Why have we skipped that Prathama Tatpurusha?
There's no Prathama Tatpurusha. It's not called Prathama
The
Tatpurusha. If the two words are related by Prathama Bhakti, it has a different name. It's called Karmadharya Samasa. So
Purva,
that's the
Apara,
reason we are skipping. Good.
Purva, Apara, Para, those combined with the Shashti Vibhakti to form Prathama. No? That's how it's given in that videos.
In the video it's given, that's a bit, I thought it's a bit confusing. So I will cover that, but not under Prathama
Okay.
Tatpurusha, but under
Okay.
Ekadesh Tatpurusha.
Okay, sir. Right.
Okay. Because now the reason is we are always saying the Purvapadam and Uttarapadam are getting combined where the Purvapadam takes a Vibhakti form. So I don't want to spoil that and say the Prathama Tatpurusha that they mention in the video is not that the Purvapadam, the Uttarapadam actually takes some Vibhakti form. So that is against the
Yes.
intuition of what we're living.
Okay.
So
Got
we
it.
will
Right.
go by this. So there's another school of thought which I liked, which said let's call it differently. Let's call the Vibhakti Tatpurushas only from Dvitiya, Tritiya onwards, and let's give a different name to that compound. So I'll cover that at the end of finishing all these Vibhakti ones. Okay.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Okay. So quickly, we just recap. Dvitiya, as we said, Srita, Atita, Patita, Gata, Atyasta, Prapta, Apanna. And then there are some small exceptions, but we will see as we need them. But we just have to know that it's a list basically. Tritiya, four broader categories: Hetu, Gunavachana, Karta, Karana with Karmani participles, Ashanach and Nyat, Bhakshiyana Mishrikaranam, and a list called Purva Sadrsha Sama, Unartha, Kalaha, Nipuna, Mishra, Slakshna. Again, we have done some exercises, right? So I think pretty good we all were in understanding. Chaturthi, we did last class, Tadartha, Artha, Bali, Hita, Sukha, Rakshita. Of which Artha, Bali, Hita, Sukha, Rakshita are list of words. Tadartha is a template which says if it is Prakriti, Vikara, Bhava, which is there is a Prakriti and that can change itself to something else. So if it is a relation, that relationship it is, then you can say Chaturthi Bhakti, for example, you want to say Kundalaya Hiranyam. So this Hiranyam is meant for creating a Kundalam. So in that, for the purpose, you can say, you can compound and say this is a Kundala Hiranyam. But not in all the cases where we say for the purpose of. Okay, if you say this is a Dakshina for the purpose of my Guru. Okay, Iyam Dakshina Mama Gurave, right? This Dakshina is for my purpose of my Guru. Then Gurave Dakshina, right? Dakshina for the purpose of Guru cannot be compounded into Guru Dakshina. Guru Dakshina cannot have Chaturthi Vibhakti compounding because of this reason that Dakshina is not turning itself for Dakshina, which is meant for Guru, is not like Dakshina is meant for Guru in terms of making the Guru. So that since that relationship is not there, Guru Dakshina cannot be a Chaturthi Samasa. So we know Guru Dakshina is a popular compound, which means we have to explain it in a different way. So that is the meaning of Chaturthi compounds.
Sir,
Then we did, yeah,
sir, so will it be like Gurvartham Dakshina?
yes, that is one possibility to say Guruvartha Dakshina. Dakshina, Guruvartha Dakshina, the word Guruvartha comes from this Chaturthi Samasa, which is Guru and Artha, which is Gurave Idam, right? Gurave
Yes, sir.
Idam is Guruvartha, and then Guruvartha Dakshina. becomes Guruvartha Dakshina, becomes a Karmadharya Samasa. But we also see Guru Dakshina, so we can say Guruvartha Dakshina become Guru Dakshina by Madhyama Lopa Samasa, by dropping the Artha there.
Oh, it takes a Madhyama Lopa route. Okay.
Yeah. If there is a Artha relationship between Purvapadam and Uttarapadam, the Madhyama Lopa can be done.
Acha.
We'll come to that when
So
we see
because
Madhyama Lopa. But
huh. No, see, sir, you said, see, the meaning is Gugave Dakshina. That is the meaning. When we say Gu Dakshina, the meaning that we want to convey is Gugave Dakshina. But Gugave Dakshina cannot be the Vigraha Vakyam
no,
because this
yeah,
that
correct.
interchanging
If the
rule.
meaning you want to still convey is Gurave Dakshina, then it will be Guruvartha Dakshina and then Madhyama Lopa Guru Dakshina.
And the Manu.
And
Okay.
also there is another possibility of saying it is a Shashti relationship, Guroha Dakshina. This is Dakshina of the Guru. Is another way of explaining. But then the meaning is slightly different there. Depending on what the meaning you want, it can be expanded.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have seen this Gugoho Dakshina, but I was never not able to understand how it conveys the same meaning.
Yeah, it will not
Dakshina, I
convey that
mean,
meaning. Correct. Yeah.
huh.
It will not convey that meaning.
Okay, sir.
Gurave Dakshina is a different. It means this is a Dakshina meant or kept aside
Or
or
the
meant for
Gugu,
the
huh.
purpose of Guru. Whereas Guroha Dakshina is just a Sambandhara, saying this Dakshina is for the Guru. So it is or it is to him. So slightly different meaning. Doesn't stress the fact that it is for the purpose of the Guru. But both are accepted because you can just have Sambandhe Shashti. That's it, right? The Sambandhe Shashti means this is Dakshina and it is belonging to the Guru.
Okay, sir. Understood. But we can
Okay.
also take that
Next.
Artha route.
Yes. Artha root also we can take. Wherever, so that's actually a kind of a shortcut, right? Wherever we find Chaturthi Samasa is still used in the Chaturthi sense, but since Adartha prevents it, saying only Prakriti Vikara Bhava can be compounded. Wherever there is no Prakriti Vikara Bhava, we can always put an Artha in between and again samarthify that by saying Artha is Lopa. So that's a kind of a,
Okay.
you can say kind of a trick, right?
So
That we can, yeah.
one more question, sir. So in that example you have given Brahmanartham Payaha.
Mhm.
Okay. So this Artha will again have three lingams. Like what if we
Yeah,
say Guru Dakshina? For Dakshina,
yes, yes.
how will this Artha, is it Artha or
Artha
Arthi?
it becomes Guruvartha Dakshina.
Guru Artha Dakshina. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So that is correct. So Arthena Nitya Samasah Sarvalingata cha. Since Artha has Sarvalingata, Strilinge Artha iti bhavati.
Artha. Okay, sir. Okay. Understood, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, next Panchami Samasa we did, and we said it can only be Bhaya, Bhita, Bhiti, Bhi, which are anyway ordained to have Panchami Vibhakti. So even in Vibhakti, even in Karakam, in the Karakam rule also we'll see Panchami Vibhakti is applicable to Bhaya, Bhita, Bhiti, Bhita, Bhi. And of course, Karaka Vibhakti says some more things, of which we are saying also seen with Trasta, Apeta, Apoda, Mukta, and also seen with Tanta and Shatra words from the verbs where there is a clear. So the verb must be such that it must have a meaning of something that is having a separation, like Grama Nirgataha, Girikshiptaha, Vakshastala Vinirgalat. So the verb must have a sense of something separated out of something. So that clear separation must be there. Then we can use Tanta or in the example of Vakshasthala Vinir Galat Rudiram, there is a Shatru usage also. Then we said additionally Itara, Vetirikta, Anya, all meaning other than that, right? So these are also getting compounded. For example, Vametara is used for left. Vametara is used for right, saying something which is not Vama. We also say Adhika is also used. Shatadikaha, Shatat Adhikaha Janaha. People who are more than 100. This is the list of Panchami Samasas. With no other combination, we can make a Panchami Samasa. This is where we stopped last time. We'll continue from here. Any questions now at this point? The next one, interestingly, if you see in the Kanika, after Panchami Samasa, what do you expect the next one to be?
Shashti.
Shashti, but you see, you have Saptami. The reason is Shashti is just the other way around. It is like, unlike Tritiya, Tritiya, Chaturthi, Panchami, where there is a list given saying only these can be compounded. Shashti is reverse. Shashti is like every Shashti can be compounded, but for a list. There's a small list saying if this is the Shashti, then it doesn't compound. It's a reverse template, right? Where what cannot be compounded is what Panini gives, rather than saying because what can be compounded is any Shashti. The reverse thing, which says what cannot be compounded, is actually very, it's very rare and very rarely used and very advanced thing. So I don't even have a Kanika. We have never even encountered that. So there's no Kanika here. So for all practical purposes, for people who are learning Samasa, for now can take that. If there are two words related by Shashti Vibhakti, you can actually compound it. Is that okay? So shall we say Shashti Tatpurusha Samasa is done?
Sir, question, sir. Hello,
No,
sir.
ma.
Can you hear me?
No, ma. I can hear you.
So we hear this word called Kalinga Nartana. Okay. So how is it to be samasafied? Because Krishna is actually dancing. It is not Kalinga who's dancing. It should be Krishna Nartana. Why is it Kalinga Nartana?
Okay. Why is it Kalinga Nartana? What makes sense? I mean, forget compound. If I have to give a Vigraha Vakyam, how will you say that?
That's Saptami, no? Clearly.
Kalinge Saptami.
Absolutely.
Huh.
Kalinge, Kalinge Nartanam. So let's when it comes to Saptami, let's see if we find a template for it.
Okay, sir. Okay. But it is
Of course, it
famous.
cannot
The
be
dance
Kalinga.
is famous. No. Okay.
Yes, yes. It is like Krishna's Nartanam, but on Kalinga. So Kalinge Nartanam, Kalinga. That's why it is
Okay. Shiva
famous.
Tandavam is famous, no, sir. So Shiva Tandavam, Shiva's Tandavam. So
Shiva
I thought,
Tandavam is
okay, it should be.
famous. So, yeah, correct. You're right. Giving a similar example, but what you've given is one in Shashti, one in Saptami.
Because it made me think actually, if it is Shiva Tandavam, it should be Krishna Nartana. Like that is what I thought
Correct.
actually. Okay, let's.
Correct. But in Shiva Tandava, the compound is Shashti. It's all from the context. It fits Shashti because Shiva is doing the dancing. In Kalinga Nartanam, Kalinga does not do Nartanam. So it has to be the Adhikaranam of it. It has to be the location where the Krishna's Nartanam happened. Just that in that episode, the location becomes more famous, more popular than Krishna's dance. Therefore, this compound became more popular.
Sir, I think Kalinga
Okay, sir.
Nardanam is Kalinga Nardanam is describing the dance more than Nartakaha.
That is
It,
there in
it
Shiva
is
Tandava also. Even in Shiva Tandava, it's
Shiva.
the Tandava. So the question is valid. In Shiva Tandava and Kalinga Nartana, both has Uttarapada Pradhanam, both means Tandava or Nartana. Dance.
Okay,
Both
okay.
actually mean the dance. But why is it that Shashti in one place, Saptami in another place? So we just see now that Saptami or Shashti both can come for a bhava form of a verb. So that means a bhava form of a verb can combine with the Shashti relationship. That is, remember, Shashti can be relationship. Shashti relationship can also be with the doer, karta, or with the karma, right? In Karakam, we also read Kartra Karmano Shashti, right? Remember that?
Yes, that
Yes, sir.
has. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Just that in Nartanam there is no karma, but if you take another verb, which is a Sakarmaka dhatu, let us say Adhyanam. Adhyanam is a Sakarmaka dhatu. So there you can get one more thing saying uh, who is doing the Adhyanam or what is it. So you can say uh, Chhatradhyanam, right? Chatrasya Adhyanam, Chhatradhyanam. The study being done by the Chatra. It's called Chatrasya Adhyanam. Sanskrita Adhyanam. In Sanskrita Adhyanam, it's again Sanskritasya Adhyanam, but this Sanskrita is not exactly like Chatra, right? It's not that Sanskritam is doing the Adhyanam, but it is the object of the Adhyanam. But still, because karta and karma both are related to the bhava form of a verb using shashti vibhakti, both shashti vibhaktis can be compounded. Fine. But adhyanam can
Yes,
also
sir.
be location. So therefore, you can say no Gurukula adhyanam. What is Gurukula adhyanam? Adhyanam in the Gurukula. Coming back to this same the Kalinga Nartanam template. So if you take a Sakarmaka Dhatu like Adhyanam, you find it can have these three possibilities, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, so when we come to Saptami, we'll clarify further. For now, there is no Shashti Samasa Kanika because of the reason that it is like generically any Shashti relationship can be compounded. Very rarely it's prevented. So we'll keep that as advanced topic, what is not allowed. So we'll go to Saptami now. Okay. Classified, it's not a list, right? So it's classified, it has templates. So what is the difference between list and template? I mean, it's the language I'm using. It's not like you'll find the word template in any grammar book or all. Just for us, our convenience, we're using. List is actually a fixed word, right? Fixed set of words, only those words. A template is like it's like a, not a fixed set, but a regular expression kind of. It can expand to multiple words. If I say a noun with an adjective, right? That's a template, which means any noun with an adjective can be compounded. So that's what I mean by template. So the for four templates here, the first template example is Shastra Nipuna. When I say example, I'm giving you a example from that template. Shastra Nipuna. And then bracket I've given you what is the template, noun with adjective, but noun with adjectives that govern Saptami. So keep in mind, it's not like any noun with any adjective. The adjective must be such that it needs a location. It needs a Saptami Vibhakti governance. That's why the word Nipuna is used. Nipuna means you say somebody who's skilled, somebody who's talented, somebody who's brilliant in what? So the question comes, if you can ask the question in what, right? If you look at the adjective and ask the question, can ask the question in what, that means that adjective governs Saptami. And then that Saptami with this adjective, that relationship can be compounded. It's the first template. Is it clear? So this is the first template of the day today we are doing.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Clear.
So even
So
negative
Nipuna,
connotation we
Not
can
ready.
take.
So I need one clarity here.
Uma?
This adjective,
Hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
So what I wanted to ask was like Nipunaha is an expert, the Anipunaha also can be taken, or a mediocre, or any kind of a comparison can be taken up, right?
Yeah,
He is
yes, yes.
mediocre in Shastra, or he is Adhama in Shastra, or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, correct. Bujji's question?
want to know any adjective would do that fits with Saptami, or it has to be only this expertise?
No, no. Anything, anything that which governs Saptami is enough.
Okay, fine, fine.
Other example is something like Rataha. Rataha is interested. Somebody's Rataha, it's a ta pratyaya of ram dhatu, ramate, enjoys, right? Somebody has enjoyment, Rata, he's Rata in what? Then you can say that Rataha, right? Somebody can be Krida Rataha. Nama Kridayam Rataha. Rataha Asaktaha. Rataha Asaktaha are all interested. So you will be interested in what? So skilled in what? Interested
No,
in
sir,
what? Things
sir,
like that.
that's a different template. That's a different template. I'm asking about the first template.
Rataha is also the first one only, right? Interested.
No, that's a Tanta word, no?
If it look at strictly, fine, but the meaning Ratah finally has become an adjective which means interested. So I can even put it in the first template.
Okay. Okay. So any Saptami relationship would do with an adjective. Okay.
Any
Understood.
something relationship will do if it makes sense for that adjective. Yeah.
Sir, what are the
Okay.
adjectives that govern Saptami, sir? How do we know this? Because this
That's what I
Krudhyati,
said.
Kupyati.
You take an adjective and then you ask the question if it is it valid to ask a question in what? Suppose I give you an adjective saying Vishala. Vishala is an adjective, right?
Okay.
But you can't ask in what.
Sir, but see, this Nihyati, Vishwasiti, that is also governed by Saptami. But yeah, that is
Right.
Upapada.
Hmm.
We can't make a samasa out of it, no?
But you need an adjective. If you have an adjective form of
Yeah.
that Vishwasiti, then yes, you can.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay. So that is the first template. Usha, you are clear? Astra
Yes, sir.
Nipunaha template. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Second one, what Bujino pointed is location, space or time. Okay. Either it's a space or time with a Tanta word. Tanta word is you all know, right? It's a past participle. So something that is done. Something that is done at some time or something that is done in some location. This can be component. Otherwise, you will actually write it separately by saying ratrau kritam, done in the night. Ratrau kritam can be ratri kritam. Then it is stalyam pakvaha. Pakva is a ta form of pachdatu. Cooked in a vessel. Cooked in a stali cooked. So you can say stali cooked, stali pakvaha. I given one example each of one with the space, one with time. But this can be expanded to any space or time location with a Tanta word. An activity done at some time or in some location. So this is clear? Okay. I mean, you want to try your own example once, then it may become clearer.
Sir, Vak Patuhu.
Vakpatuhu is first example of the first template. Putra Patuhu,
Yes, sir.
Vakpatuhu. The second one,
Pustaka likitaha.
Second.
second template example. Pustaka
Pustake
likitaha.
likitaha.
It's good one.
Yeah.
Pustake likita. Something written in the book is Pustaka likitaha or Pustaka likitam. Good. So somebody asked
What?
where was this written? You can say it was like Grantha likita. Yeah.
What about space? Example for space?
Space is that Pustakam. Other one is time.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, okay, sir. Fine.
Sir, I'm unable to differentiate
Space
between
is a
the space and location. Are both same or is there a
so
subtle difference?
space is your physical coordinates in this world. So anything in this world, any matter in this world will be space, and then time is the other one, which is a time
No,
coordinate,
no,
right?
no. No, no, I'm unable to differentiate between space and location, I said, not time. Uh, they both mean the same or is there a
Location,
difference?
the location will be in either in space or in time. Location is a point. A point could be in space, point in space, or a point in time.
Okay. Physical location is space. Okay. In
Yes.
time, it's okay.
Correct.
Understood.
That's why the location, if you're taking it a space location, it may look same, but location is, I've taken it a more generic sense as applicable to time also.
Got it.
So pustaka likita or ratri likitaha. Right?
Ratri likita. Yes, you can say idam ratri likitam. This was written in the night or something, right? Idam some other time. You want to say madhyana likitam.
Can we take it figuratively also, sir? Like mind
Like,
or
yes.
hridaya. This thought has
Yeah,
come something
yeah,
like
mind.
figuratively.
Yes, yes. Yes, mind, hridaya, they're all still considered as uh, space, some entity in the space. Yeah. Okay, I think we understood what it is. We'll go to third one. Third one is what I call is Ganga Snanam template, because we very popularly say Ganga Snanam. So what is this? This is like location with Kriya Bhavaha. The right side word is not a Tanta word, it's a Kriya Bhava, and then the location where it happened. This is where Kalinga Nartanam comes. Okay, Kalinga Nartanam is also Anam form. Anam form of the verb, happening location, that is Kalinge Nartanam, Kalinga Nartanam, Gangayam Snanam, Ganga Snanam. And therefore, since we know Ganga Snanam, Kalinga Nartanam are all there, so we just take this as a valid template saying the Kriya Bhava with a location is valid. Fine.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Okay, but what this Kanika helps you is to tell you that, though maybe before this till now you may think, you may be wondering what Saptami, if Saptami like calling an Arthanam, right? Why, if you think it is Shashti, it doesn't make sense. If it is Saptami, the question comes, can you compound? Now this Kanika clearly tells you that, lays out the exact templates. If you have these 5 relationships mentioned here, these 5 templates for Saptami relationship, then you can make a compound. Okay, you want to try, any of you, another example like Ganga Snanam and Kalinga Nartanam? Maybe Uma, you are given Kalinga Nartanam, we'll give chance to somebody else to give any other example.
Nagaravasam.
Yeah, Usha. Which one?
Nagaravasam.
Nagaravasa. Correct.
Vasaha. Okay. Nagaravasaha.
Nagaravasa. Good. Good, no? This also is very popular use. Nagaravasa. Staying in a city. Okay, great. So I presume we understood that. Fourth, let's go to the fourth template. I mean, this is in order of popularity, right? I have also listed in order of popularity. So now we are going to fourth and fifth, which are very, you will find it rarely. Masa Deyam template. This is Kala. It is a time period with the Kritya, which is like ought to be done. So there's a specific sense of something that ought to be done in that time. Masa Deyam expands to Mase Deyam, and Deyam is a Kritya word, which means ought to be given, and something that ought to be given within a month can be referred to as Mase Deyam as Masa Deyam. So this is very restricted to within a time period, something ought to be done.
What is a kritya, sir? Is it nyat?
Kritya is all the Kritya is a Vidiling participle. The Vidiling participles are all called together called Kritya.
The Vidiling participles. Okay. Huh. That is Vidiling participles is what? Tavyataniya.
Or Tavyat, near, Anyat. Yeah,
Tavyataniya and nyat. Okay.
correct. For this fourth and fifth, I mean, I will not pause for any examples from your end because it's not a very popularly found. So I'll just quickly move to the next one. Next one, it comes under a given. I mean, this is a given combination by Panini saying popular idiomatic expressions and rudhas. Rudhas means they are already in use. Only those words which are already in use. This combination. This is not a list of Uttarapadam, nor is a list of Purapadam. It's a combined compound list itself. 2 of them I have given you here. Kupa Mandukaha, that is a frog in a well. Kupa Mandukaha is refers to a frog that is in a well. So, but if you look at so far the first 4 templates, Kupe Mandukaha, Kupa Mandukaha cannot be compounded, right? It's neither Shastra Nipuna template, nor is it the second, nor is it the third one. So By rule so far, you cannot have a compound of Kupa Manduka, but it's a very popular idiomatic usage. So that is allowed. Okay, Kupa Mandukaha, allowed. Gehe Shuraha. Gehe Shuraha means it's again an idiomatic expression to say someone who is a Shura only in his home, right? When he comes out, he's not a Shura. Again, this is an idiomatic expression to refer to somebody. We know this, and these are idiomatic phrases, right? Where you say, this guy is only in his area or in his locality, he is a great guy, right? But he cannot do anything when he comes out of it. In fact, if you look at Gehe Shuraha, you also realize that the Vibhakti also is not got Lopa, right? The Pratipadikam, it's not that Purvapadam has a Pratipadikam, it also retains the Vibhakti. The Saptami Vibhakti is still there, which can happen. Because this is a very popular idiomatic expression, we take it. Then there are a few more. I just took 2 examples, a few more given by Panini. But let's assume that these are all given and we don't use that as a template or as a reference to create our own. Okay, these have to be taken as they are. Any questions in this? The 5th one?
Sir, Gehe is already in Saptami, no?
Correct. So that's what I said. No. So this is an example of it's become popular within retaining a Vibhakti itself. This is an exception, right? This is an exception where instead of Pratipadikam, instead of having only the Pratipadikam form, the Vibhakti form has come into the compound. The Vibhakti, finally, when you form a compound, we saw the generic rule is you have to just cut the Vibhakti out and put only the Pratipadikam form. But very exceptionally, there are some compounds where the Vibhakti itself is coming. You're not cutting it out. Since we are not cutting the Vibhakti out, such a compound also is called Luk Samasa. This Aluk Samasa, Luk has not happened. What is Luk? Luk is Lopa of the Vibhakti. So all of you clear on the technical term Aluk Samasa?
Yeah, Parasmayapadi, Atmanepadi.
Correct. That's an example.
Yudhishthiraha.
Yudhishthira, great. So you already know, right? What is Aluk Samasa? So Gehe
So
Shuraha, we take it
Aluk
as
Samasa. So all Aluk Samasas come under the Saptami template.
no, not like that. And that's why I think I've covered Aluk separate. Let me check. Take over there.
Sir, if Vibhakti is there, it is look or aluk, sir. Look na.
Look na Lopa. Elimination.
Look means lopa. Okay. Now all Vibhaktis, there is no Vibhakti relationship, so all are aluk, isn't it?
No. All are Vibhakti so far. Dvitiya, Tritiya, Chaturthi, Panchami, Shashti. We have seen
But
so
when
far
we
everything
write
has
that,
Vibhakti.
no, this Gehe Shuraha Vibhakti is there, isn't it, as part of the Samasa in the
Therefore, it is
Pratipadikam?
Aluk. Because normally Vibhakti should be knocked off.
Correct. Okay, it is there. So it is
Since you're
aluk.
not
Okay, sir.
knocking off, since you're not
Ah,
knocking off, it is called Aluk. Remember, Luk as knocked off. So Aluk is unknocked, not knocked.
unknown. Okay.
Now,
I
whatever
also.
Uma asked, same thing. So now when we have this,
Yeah, go ahead.
when we have this 2 Pratipadikams and there's no Vibhakti, when we say take any of these Tatpurusha Samasas, is it Aluk and Alu? Is it that we write in the word or that uh, it doesn't have vibhakti at all? See, now for Dvitiya, there is the Tritiya Tatpurusha, there is a Tritiya vibhakti in between, but we don't write it.
You don't write it, you knock that off and write only the Pratipadikam, right? That's the rule.
Okay,
When you
so
form a
that is
samasa,
Alu.
I'm saying,
That is
no,
look.
that is look.
Okay.
That is the default,
Okay.
right? What the default says is, suppose you want to say, Kopena Aruna, right?
Hmm.
Kopena Aruna is Tritya Tatpurusha. when you compound it, you don't say kope naruna. When you're compounding it, you drop the vibhakti form and get only the pratipadikam form. And then only pratipadikams are compounded. That's the rule we also said for a samasa coining, right?
Okay, sir.
Now we find, so that is the normal procedure of only using pratipadikam. Only using pratipadikam is the vibhakti is getting knocked off. Vibhakti is not mentioned in the samasa. From the samasa, you will not know what vibhakti is used unless you work yourself out and figure out which template it fits. You have to figure out the vibhakti yourself, right?
Okay, sir.
Now, in some samasas, like what you saw, the vibhakti is retained, even though it's compounded, like gehe shuraha, that we saw here. The
Yes, sir.
vibhakti
Yes, sir. We
seems to
saw.
be retained. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Okay, sir.
this is an exception, and this exception has a technical name. It's called aluk samasa. Aluk means not knocked off. The vibhakti is not knocked off. Therefore, it's called aluk samasa. Now, again, to answer who asked, I think Tapas, right? Is it always Saptami? No. Aluk samasa spread in everything. Right from there are examples in Shashti, there are examples in Panchami. So every Tatpurusha samasa where Vibhakti Tatpurusha is there, you have an example of Aluk also coming there as an exception. So Aluk is cuts across all the Vibhakti templates. Of course, Saptami has more of it. Saptami is, you can say, is that relationship where there is more of aluk samasas. That's all we can say, but it's not exclusive to Saptami alone.
Sir, are there other examples of aluk not in Saptami? I'm able to think of, like, if you say Panke Guha, that is
Pankaj
again in
again Saptami.
Saptami.
You want examples in Shashti, yeah? Let's take Shashti.
Anything other? I mean, I just thought that after your explanation that, okay, aluk is always in Saptami, but since you said that it is in other vibhaktis, I'm
Yeah,
not able to think of an example.
yeah. There is one in Shashti. There is a popular thing called Devanam Priyaha.
Oh, Ashoka.
Devanam Priya is actually called a fool.
Oh, I thought, okay.
How, sir?
Let us
Why
see
is it
if
fool?
that is all.
Devanam
We
Priya
don't know.
is somebody who is very dear to the devas, isn't it?
Yeah, it
It's
has
a
become
title for Ashoka,
Rudy. It has
I think,
become a
also.
fool. Yeah.
Acha.
Okay. Okay, sir. I would have been very happy if somebody addresses me as Devanam Priya.
But in so many of his edicts, I think Ashoka refers to himself as Devanam Priyaha, I think. Or
I don't know how whether Apte would have listed because Apte's style is compounds come separately. Let's look at whether he has a Priyata here. Otherwise, we have to go to dictionary like Monier Williams. Tatadadana Papa Babama. Priyaha, dear to the gods. Okay. It's an epithet of Shiva. Devanam Priyaha is an irregular, what he means is an aluk compound, meaning one, a goat, two, a fool or an idiot, or three, an ascetic. Three meanings of Devanam Priya, but again, he has given Devanam Priya as a aluk samasa.
okay, understood, sir.
Oh, it means a
Interesting.
goat
Thank
also.
you.
Likewise, even Panchami has Stokat Muktaha. Okay, the Stokat Muktaha means released just by a little. So there are examples in other vibhaktis. Just keep in mind. So aluk samasa could be with any vibhakti.
Aluk samasa, if it's there, it need not be a samasa at all, no?
Yeah, that's what we think. But the reason it is samasas, you have to write it right together into one word, and it will still be the Uttarapada Pradana and all that will remain. So, for example, if you're using the word Devanam Priya as one word, now you cannot have in the sentence you cannot have any adjective for Devanam as a separate word.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so like you said, the difference if you don't have to write it. The vibhakti is there. See, vibhakti is doing only one job in the compound, right? the fact that if they were separate, you can write the word Devanam anywhere in the sentence, right? And then
Yes.
it can have its own adjectives. All that properties are not there because it's a samasa. So only that vibhakti retention, the only one allowed, but other properties of samasa still hold.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Good question, actually. Even I wondered when I first came across aluk samasa. I used to wonder why, if it is aluk, then why you won't call it samasa, right? You can just say anyway vibhakti is there. Why even call it samasa? Then I realized that it still have to be written together into one word, and Devanam Priya will have to have one meaning called a fool. Now you cannot have Devanam as a treated separate word and give an adjective to that saying Muhatam Devanam. You can't do all that.
Yes, sir.
Devanam
Got
Priya reduces to just one word in the syntax, so it becomes Priya. That's the answer.
No, but final word can have adjective. Suppose this Devanam Priya is somebody
Right.
who's very tall. I can still write Devanam Priya and another adjective, isn't it? It's a whole
Yes, that you
total
can.
word.
That's right. But Devanam
Okay.
Priya has reduced itself to just one single Uttarapadam, right? That's what you have to
Okay.
remember. You cannot have adjectives to its Purvapadam and all that.
But this Devanam Priya now has just these specific meanings. But if I
Yeah,
have a samasa
Devanam
like
Priya.
Deva Priya, so
If you have a
supposing I
samasa like
just have
Deva
a
Priya, that's Deva Priya samasa is a regular samasa, which means someone who is very dear to a Deva. There you can have Deva Priya. You can say I'm not forming this particular compound. I'm forming the compound under generic rule, and that is allowed. Your Deva Priya generic meaning of someone who is very priya to a god.
huh. Okay,
That
got
still
it.
means, yeah.
Okay, very interesting, sir. This is very interesting. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I think, let me check. Even Apam Pati, I think we saw in some class. Yeah. Look at this. Apam enters into several compounds. Apam samvartaha, destruction of the world by water. Apam vatsaha, apam. See, this apam is actually Shashti Vibhakti of up. Okay. But its Shashti Vibhakti form apam enters into compound as apam. So this is an aluk sama. Wherever apam is there in samasa, it's aluk samasa. This is what we came across. Apam patihi. Apam patihi samudra. Samudra is apam patihi. Typically should be ap patihi, but you can also form compound as apam patihi. Okay, so given you another example from Shashti. That's it about we covered different templates of Saptami Samasa, and in that process, we also have covered what is called Aluk Samasa. In fact, there will be, I mean, you should not get confused if like Usha, you're reading the book and somewhere they say Aluk Samasa. It's not like a different type of Samasa. It's not like in this screen, right? We are seeing Tat
Yes, sir.
Purusha, Bahuvrihi, Avi, Dvanda. Where does Aluk fit? It's not Aluk is not a different
Yes,
type of
yes.
Samasa. Aluk Samasa just says amongst the
Characteristics of.
Samanya Tatpurusha Samasa, yeah, amongst the Vibhakti Tatpurusha Samasa, that is amongst these ones, certain things can be without the Vibhakti getting rid of. They are called Aluk Samasa. So Aluk Samasa is just part of the Tatpurusha Samasa.
Yes, sir.
So yeah,
This
you're right. It's a
dual also can
characteristic.
be part. Okay. Sorry.
Hmm? Which one?
It can be singular, plural, dual also.
Which one? The
And
Aluk one?
the aluk. See, Devanam
Yeah, yeah. We
is
saw that.
Bahuvachanam.
Devanam is plural.
Bahuvachanam.
Apam is plural. Apam is plural. Gehe is
Hmm.
singular. Yeah, right. It could be it's when you say vibhakti can be retained, the vigraha vakyam, whatever is the vigraha vakyam, that vibhakti comes. Yeah.
And these are standard lists, sir. We can't make our own, right?
You
Like
can't. Yeah.
Apam is.
Yeah.
Uh,
You can't make your own unless there's a template. Only in Saptami Samasa there's a template for Aluk Samasa. That if you're using in that, if you're making a samasa in that template, then you can make Aluk Samasa. Okay. which means basically it comes on the second one, right? Second one, and I guess even third one. Second one says, second template says space or time location with tanta, right?
Okay.
And then third says a location with kriya bhava. Within that, within your space, within the second template and third template, there is a sub template which says when you can have a look.
Okay. Will you be covering that as well, sir, as part of
I'm
this?
not covering. No, I'm not covering. I'm keeping that as a bit advanced.
Okay, sir. Okay.
If you're interested, we can. I mean, I won't cover it, but just to show you, maybe you can do your reading if you go to Ashtadhyayi.
So how popular is this aluk samasa? Because we come across these terms randomly, like parasmepadian, but do we find its usage in kavyams or something?
Yeah. In Kavyams also it is there. So like Uma asked now. So there are certain things which are already given, like Parasmepada, Atmanepada, Gehe, Shura,
Ha.
Apampati, and Devanam. All these are fixed. Even Panchami some fixed. But in Saptami there is a generic template. So I'm coming to that. Haladanta Saptamya Sanyayam is one sutram which says if it is a halanta word, right? So that's where he has covered Yudhishthira. So Yudhishthira, Yudh, halanta word, and then you have followed by Sanya. So it's a name of a person. Right? So as long as it's the name of a person and the first word is halanta, Saptami aluk can be there. So this is one example. So Uma, I'm answering your question. Right?
Sir. Sir.
Now if you
In the
go the
battle,
next
he
sutra.
is Tiraha. Okay.
Correct.
And
Now
it's the noun.
and it's a name of a person. So you can't
Okay.
generically refer to any person who is Thira in a battle as Yudhishthira. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Only if it's a name. Now the next one says Karanamni cha pracha. So if you look at, maybe if you're interested, you can look at these sutrams like 6.3.9, 10, 11, 12. So I'll tell
Okay.
you which is very, very useful for us, right?
Yeah, we're just looking to create means if at all, if there is an opportunity, that's
Yeah,
all, sir.
I'll
Nothing.
tell you where it will be useful for us to create. This is again Stambhe Ramah Karne Jabha. Again, Panini is not able to give a pattern. So he says Tatpurushe, when there's a Krit word, Bahulam. Okay, you can have, but then this is a useful one. What is this one? Okay. This is one generic template, right? This is Shaya, Vasa, Vasishu, Akala. Generic, as long as the word Vasaha, Shayaha, and Vasi. If these words are there and you don't have time, you have a space, then Grame Vasaha, you can say Grame Vasa. Like I think this example Usha you gave right now, Nagara Vasa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, according to Panini, Nagara Vasaha could also be a look. It could also be Nagare Vasa because the word Vasa is used. So this answers
Okay, sir.
Uma's question. If you are forming a compound and Vasa is the Uttarapadam, then Saptami Aluk is optionally allowed. So optionally allowed. So you can say Grame Vasa, Grama Vasa, Keshayaha or Kashayaha, Grame Vasi, Grama Vasi, right? So Shaya, Vasa and Vasi. If these are the words, and then Puropadam is Akala. Akala means time is ruled out, only space location. Then you can. So this is a generic thing available for us where we can coin our own aluk. Next one is names. One more thing. Sthescha Bhashayam. Okay, that's it here. I remember seeing Ratri something else. Maybe some other list somewhere else is there. But there is a couple of templates. Okay, keep that in
Okay,
mind.
sir. Thank you. Yeah.
So shall we say Saptami Samasa is done?
No, sir. That Trilinga thing we need to check. No, sir.
Correct. Good question. So let's start one by one again. In the first template, Shastra Nipuna template, what will be the output? What will it yield? Adjective, noun, avyayam.
Adjective? Nipunaha.
It will be adjective because it's the meaning is just the Uttarapadam, right? Somebody who's skilled Nipuna in Shastra is still a Nipuna person. So the yield, it's Uttarapada Pradhanam. Uttarapadam is the meaning, and therefore the three form will be same as whatever the Uttarapadam takes. Right? Clear? Even?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next.
Sir, one second.
Stali Pakwa.
Is it Nipuna or Nipuni?
Nipuna. Nipuna.
Okay.
Sir,
Stali
this
Pakwa.
is all. So 1 minute, sir. Oh, no. Sir, so how do we know where to use tap and where to use knee? So
No,
now
no.
we are
If it is a
asking
given,
you. We get a,
no, no. But it's a given. If it is a given word, if it's already a existing word in the language, existing adjective in the language, then the dictionary itself will tell you what is it top or is it knee. Okay.
oh, okay. So we go to the dictionary. Fine.
Yeah. This question will come only if you're forming an adjective. That's when you get the question: should I use top or knee? Right. So if it is a given adjective of the language itself, then along with that adjective, its top or knee property is given in the dictionary. Then you look for the meaning
Okay,
of
fine.
nipuna. It will also tell you what is the meaning of nipuna and
Mm,
how to get it, how to get the three form. Typically, the dictionary will
three,
tell you
four.
that. Fine.
Got it, sir.
Now, yeah, only for the new words, the coined words, right? If you're coining a word yourself, then using a pratyaya, then we need to know. And typically, if you're coining a word using a pratyaya, the pratyaya defines it. Like we saw, if you're counting any word coined using unpratyaya, it is always triyam neep.
If it is with Tanta, then it is
Yeah, anta is always a, an is always neep. Maya pratyaya, mayat is always neep. So the pratyaya will tell you whether it's
uh,
top or neep. Okay, that's it. That's the easiest way to remember.
Yes, understood, sir.
So now in Shastra Nipuna, whatever is your Uttarapadam, go by that. Okay, that's the thing. Next is in Stali Pakwa and Ratri Krita, the Uttarapadam, still it's Uttarapada Pradana. The meaning is Uttarapadam only. Uttarapadam is a Tanta, so therefore always A ending. Ganga Snanam. What about Ganga Snanam template?
Is it a noun?
It's a
Noun.
noun. Good. It's a noun because it's a Kriya Bhava. So it's an Anam form or a Ghang form or a Tin form. Remember, Kriya Bhava could be either Strilingam, Pullingam, or Napumsakam, depending on whether you're using Anam or Tin or A or Pullinga form, the Aha form, right? In either case or in any of these cases, it's a noun. So the lingam of the word is same as the lingam of whatever is the Kriya Bhava. And then there is no question of changing it to Strilingam. Is that clear? Yeah,
But
right?
we are allowed to
Gangasnanam.
use the
They're allowed to use the.
if there are other bhava forms also, right? Or is it
Yeah.
fixed only to mute?
No, it's not. So you're allowed any bhava. So all the three lingams you can use. Like
Okay.
Nagaravasaha we
Okay.
saw just now. Nagaravasaha is a pullinga form.
Okay. Okay. Right.
Okay. Masa deyam. In that template, deyam again it's an adjective. And because it's all kritya pratyas, striyam a will come. All the kritya pratyas have striyam a. Next is gupa manduha geshwara as fixed words. Okay, so there's no question of. They're just given list. So with that list, we'll know what is the three form. Okay, so now we say done. It's up to me.
Sorry, sir. This
Sir,
I missed it on Stali Pakvaha. That Striyam is what actually?
That is tanta, right?
Tanta so are
In
right? Always are right,
tanta
sir?
is always a, correct. Yeah.
Okay.
sir, one doubt, sir.
Usha? No, oh yeah, tapas.
Sir, sir, a word like divangataha.
Hmm.
Is that aluk, sir? Because you have divam and then gataha,
Correct. That seems to be. Is
but
it
it's a
found to?
samasa. Is it an
Is it a
aluk?
samasa? Is it? If it is samasa, it has to be
So,
a look.
so divangataha, it's a samasana, it's one word.
I could also make it.
Divangatatma.
But I could also assume it is two word. No.
So usually it's used as a description, no? Divangat atma, something divang. It's usually it's as an adjective to the person who is no more.
But how do we clearly know it is a component, not a vyasta prayoga? That's a question I'm asking. Let me think.
What is a vyasta prayoga, sir?
Vyasta prayoga is asamasta. It's the opposite of samasa.
Oh, okay. But usually I've seen it as a single word. It's not split as two words. I've just
That is
seen it in
that
newspaper or
is
something.
yeah. The space not given, but that doesn't prove it. It doesn't prove that if the space is not given, doesn't prove that it is. For example, I've seen the word parangata, right? Have you come
Yes,
across
sir.
it?
Parangata.
Parangata is, even I used to wonder, Parangata is actually two words only.
Oh, so if it is, oh, okay. Just because it's together doesn't mean it's a samasa.
Yeah, just because together means what? We are dropping a space character in between. Remember, space character or no space character is our own invention, right? Nothing to do with the language.
But sir, we have always heard it as Divangatah, not Gataha Divam, no sir.
You always heard it that way. That's right. But is Divangata a compound or is it two words? That's a question. You can
It's a
also write
single word in
Gato
Telugu.
Diva.
It's there in Telugu. It's a single word in Telugu also. Devanka.
Correct.
In Telugu, we will say Divangatulayinaru, even like an adverb we feel.
Yeah, that's right. But still, unless you know it is
So usually I've seen it as an adjective. Bhagavan Divangat Atma ko Shanti De.
correct.
So I have not seen it as Saha Divam Gatam or Tena Divam. It is more like an adjective to the deceased person. We have not seen
Correct.
it as Tena Divam Gatam or something like that. I mean, that is a separate usage altogether. Yeah,
That's
talking
a
about
separate usage
somebody
also.
going to heaven, some Puranic character going to heaven is different.
Mm.
But in the term, in the usage of deceased person, I was wondering if that can be aluk, not
Yeah,
aluk,
but
non-saptami aluk.
we have to confirm that. So we have to look at maybe we have to see some what to
Okay,
say
sir.
some proper kosha and usages to see. I still don't want to rule out in all the examples we said so far. Divangata could have been with a space also, like Parangata. Parangata, for a lot of time, I used to get confusing. How is that a Aluk Samasa and Dvitiya? Then finally concluded that it need not be a Samasa. Wherever they're using Parangata, it's actually Param is a separate word, Gata. So Divangata could also be in the same category. So unless we
Okay,
see
sir.
it's a Samasa, we'll just park that question, whether it's a Samasa or not, but it could be just two words.
Okay, sir.
So we come back here. So Saptami done. Shall we go to the next? Usha, you were asking something? Not.
No, sir, I didn't ask anything.
Oh. Let's go to the next samasa. The question is, we have done all the vibhaktis, right? So what is the next one? The next one is whatever Bujji raised in the initial. There are a few words which are called Ekadesha words. What is the meaning of Ekadesha words? Words that refer to a part of a whole. If there is a one big entity, there are words to refer to some part of it. Like the words listed here, which are the exact words that we use. Purva means the fore part of it, something that is in the front part of it. Apara is the hind part of it. Adhara is the lower part of it. Uttara is upper part of it. And Ardha is half part of it. The words purva, apara, adhara, uttara, and ardha. These are all nouns. These mean the front part, the rear part, the top part, the bottom part, and the half part. Now, how should the compound be? Suppose, for example, we want to say the front part of the body, right? I'm taking kaya as the example of body. Purva for the front part. How do you say normally when you write it? Forget
कायस्य
samasa.
पूर्व
Kayasya
कायस्य
purvam.
पूर्व
Kayasya purvam, right? Likewise, everything. Kayasya purvam, kayasya aparam, mandirasya aparam, mandirasya uttaram, grihasya adaram, vrikshasya adaram, and even ardham, right? Kavyasya ardham, shlokasya ardham. So take any of these words, purva, apara, adhara, uttara, ardha, they are related to the entity where the entity gets shashti vibhakti. Now, if I allow shashti tatpurusha samasa here, what should the result be? What is kayasya purvam should actually have been?
कायपूर्वम्
Kaya purvam. But samasa, shashti samasa with these 5 words listed have to be put in the reverse order. It is actually the result of kayasya purvam is purva kaya. Therefore, this is now categorized as a separate samasa, separate class, where only for these 5 words, which are the ekadesha words, if this compounds with the ekadeshi. What is ekadeshi? The one which has this part, right? It's like your, even in English we say payer and payee, right? So remember, what is payer? One who pays. Payee is the guy who is getting the payment. Like payer, payee, here we have the word ekadesha and ekadeshi. Ekadesha are these words indicating a part, and ekadeshi is the one which has those parts, the whole thing, right? If these are combining in Shashti Tatpur Samasa, interestingly, you get a peculiar reverse Shashti Tatpur Samasa, which is called Ekadeshi Samasa. I like this term called Ekadeshi Samasa, a separate Samasa category which says Ekadeshi Samasa means there is a Samasa with an Ekadeshi word, right? With a word that has some part of it. Rather than some grammarians, like Buji mentioned in some videos and some grammar books, call this as Prathama Tatpurusha, which is not intuitive to a mind. So I prefer this name, though both the names are valid. So even Usha, I don't know, in your book, Kovida, whether they're teaching this as Prathama Tatpurusha or Ekadeshi Samasa, that you have to figure out. But
It's Pratama, sir.
go by what they're saying, but in a mind, call it as, keep it as Ekadeshi
Yeah.
Samasa. It'll be easier to understand.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, examples of
Sir,
Ekadeshi Samasa can, yeah,
so you don't have to
go ahead.
refer to my Kovida, because I see a lot of
Mm,
difference in what you're teaching and here. So
yeah.
I'll just go with whatever your
Whatever,
concepts are.
yeah. And then,
Yeah.
but still,
Yeah.
since you have to write the exam, you have to map it to what you need to
Yes, sir.
write there,
Yes, sir.
right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes. That I'll do.
Right. So these are Ekadeshi Samasas. And examples are, let's look at examples. Remember again, Ekadeshi Samasas, again, only with the list of these 5 words. So again, it's a very simple Sama. Only these 5 words can contribute to it. Purvakayaha is Kayasya Purvam, the forepart of the body. Only one example I've given, but you can say, you want to try anything? You want to say the lower part of the tree, right? Like using adhara for the lower part. What is the lower part of a tree?
Adhara Vruksha.
Yes, adhara vrikshaha, right? It's not vriksha adhara, the ulta it is. Right? Adhara vrikshaha means the lower part of a tree. If you take shala as a building, and you want to say the top part
Sir,
of it.
sir, one clarification. We can
Hmm.
use the regular Shashti as Vyasta Prayoga, right? For with these words also,
Yeah,
or that is
Vyasta
also not,
Prayoga you can use the. That's right. Vyasta
that is
Prayoga
allowed,
anyway
right?
comes back to the regular. That is allowed. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay, right. So we can say Vrikshasya Adhare XYZ
Yeah.
Asti.
Correct.
Okay,
Vrikshasya adhare sahaswapiti is fine. But then you want to compound vrikshasya adhare, you have to say adhara vrikshe.
okay, understood, understood. Okay.
not vrikshadhare. Vrikshadhare is your intuitive answer, but this is counterintuitive samasa. That's what we are saying.
Can we
Testi
use
rule I can
two?
still
Hmm?
Can I
by
use
by
both? See,
using
if I have to say, uh, Abuji, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, that's what. No. I was asking the same question. Go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah,
you're asking
I
a
was
question.
thinking whether
Is
can
it
we
optional,
use.
right? Is the other order other order also fine?
No, sir. My question was, can I use both? Say, if I have to use in front and behind, so can I use both in a samasa? Purv.
But how do you get that? What is the Vesta Prayoga there?
So I want to tell something is in front of the house and behind the house. So can I
But you'll
use
have to have
both?
how? I mean, first you have to get Vesta Prayoga, right? What is the Vesta Prayoga of it?
No, sir. I didn't get it.
Okay, first of all,
गृहस्य पूर्वः गृहस्य
before forming a compound, before forming a compound, you need a Vesta Prayoga, right? You need a first Prayoga on which you are applying a compound, correct? Is that clear?
Okay, okay. Yes, yes, yes.
So what is the Vesta Prayoga here? How are you going to have a Vesta Prayoga? Then let's come to compounding it. What is your uncompounded way of saying it?
गृहस्य पूर्वः गृहस्य
Mhm.
say अपरः.
Yeah, so grihasya purvam is one, grihasya aparam, and then you want to say what? How you want to
गृहस्य
use this in a
पूर्व.
sentence?
वृक्षाः सन्ति
Hmm?
वृक्षाः
Grihasya
सन्ति
purve, grihasya apare cha vrikshaः santi. This is your sentence, right?
So one question here. So one
Wait,
question.
let's finish the no. Let's finish her
हाँ,
doubt. So your question is grihasya purve vrikshaः santi apare cha, right?
yes, yes.
Now you have got grihasya purve apare cha vrikshaः santi. Now which two words you want to compound?
पूर्व and अपरा.
Purva and
Can I
apara, if you want to
use
compound.
purva, apara and vriksha? Can I use
No,
purva,
you're coming
apara
to
and
then
vriksha?
you're then coming to three-word compound. We are not even covered three-word compound yet, right? There's no
Okay,
three-word
okay,
compound.
okay, okay, okay.
There's no three-word compound at all. Always compounds are two at a time.
Okay, sir. Yeah,
Sir,
that
my
makes sense.
question was slightly different. My question was slightly different. Uh, can I can I say grihasya purvam and say I'm using shashti samasa and say gruha purvam? That was my question.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, your question is what I thought even Usha's was, which is like, can I use the other regular order also? You can't. For these five words, you can't use the regular order.
Okay, that's what I want. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
these
So
five
coming
words
back
are
to
the set Ekadeshi, sir. This is the list. Is this the list, sir, as per our framework?
yes, this is the list. This is a list of Ekadesha words that have this property.
Okay.
Okay. This is not the list of all Ekasesha words. Can you give an example of an Ekasesha word not in this list?
Itara.
Itara is not an Ekadesha word. It's not a part of a whole.
The other part, okay, the
No.
leaving, the Sesha
It
part,
has to be a
the
part of
Sesha
this. Like it has to be like we say front part, rear part, top part, bottom part, half part. What else?
reminder part,
Okay,
Sesha
we can
part.
say remainder. Yeah, Shesha part. There's another
Adhi,
word, Sarva part. Sarva is also an Ekadesha, which
adhi,
is like it tells all the parts.
Huh.
adhi.
No, not Adi. Then there is a Madhya. Very popular, right? Center part.
Center, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So these are all other Ekadesha words which are not listed here, which means they form the regular compound. Right?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Bhumadhyah is okay.
Correct.
Instead of Madhya Bhu something, we'll say Bhumadhyah. Okay.
Now, if you look at the next part of the Kanika, the end part, I've given you that. However, with a word indicative of a kala means a time, right? Ahan, Ratri, Dina. if this was the word and you want to say an ekadesha of this, right? An ekadesha of this, you want to say the front part of the night. In the night, front part means what? The forepart, the latter part, the mid part. Here, any ekadesha word, including madhya, sarva, will have this ekadeshi samasa. So it is madhyanha. I've given this example because it's very popular, right? We know we always say mid part of the day is madhyana, right?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Oh, nice. Madhya.
Nice, right? Madhyana is what we
Yeah.
say. Just know, Uma, you gave an example of bhu madhya, right?
हाँ sir. हाँ.
According to that, it
Bhumadhya.
should be mid part of the day should be ahar madhya. Ahar madhya should be the mid part of the day. But we don't say ahar madhya, we say madhyana. So that is covered
Hmm.
under this, covered under this Ekadeshi Samasa, where we are saying if the word is ahan, dina, ratri and all, in any part of
Hmm.
it, you put it first. So that's why you say Purva Ratram,
Okay.
Madhyanam, like that. Uttarannam. Uttarannam means the latter part of the day.
So
So that's
one
just
Yes.
a,
question, sir.
you can say this is just a, you can say an add-on to this Kanika, where we're
Yeah,
saying
it is
only these
covered.
five words are only these five words form Ekadeshi Samasa with any word. But if the word is indicative of a kala and you want to put a ekadesha on a kala, then any ekadesha on a kala will form ekadeshi samasa. Right?
So one question, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. What are these Ekadeshi words? Is there a list, sir?
I've given here. Purva, apara, adhara, uttara, ardha, asti, ekadeshi, that take part in ekadeshi samasa. Remaining, you were saying what are the remaining ones?
Like you have included
Remaining ones,
Madhya and
there is no
Sarva. So
list.
what more?
There is no list by anybody, but it just goes by the meaning. Does the word mean a part of a whole? That's all. So I
Oh,
can
okay.
the word madhya is used, the word sarva is used. If there's anything, maybe it's as an exercise we can just list it out. We can form it, but you don't need to. I mean, any word which means a part of something is ekadesha. That's it.
Okay. So we can say Chaturthamshaha.
That is 1/4. Yeah, that's not an
One
ekadesha
fourth.
directly. It just says 1/4. Yeah.
Acha. Okay. And sir, one more question. See this
Hmm.
Purva Kayaha and some other examples came up now, no? Like
Hmm.
Purva Griham or something. How do we
Hmm.
determine the lingam of this
Okay, we'll come to that.
Ekadeshi Sam?
Now,
Okay.
that's the next. Right, once, okay, now that
Okay.
we understood Ekadeshi Samasa, like Uma used
Fine.
to say
Fine,
for the
sir.
last one, right? We call it done only after we go back and ask this question. Now, what does it yield? So, what is the output of an Ekadeshi Samasa?
Still the noun only, sir.
Yeah, the output is still the noun, which is the entire entity, right? So, in Purva
Correct.
Kaya, the Kaya is what is the Uttarapadam. And what is the Pradhana Padam here? So, in the sentence, this Purva Uttara all are actually not the important thing. The important thing is about the Kaya, right? And Purva just qualifies saying it's a forepart of the Kaya. Okay, so Uttarapadam is a Pradhanam, and therefore Uttarapadam being a noun, this Ekadeshi Samasa always yields a noun, and the lingam of that is same as the lingam of the Uttarapadam. Is that clear, Tapas?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
And
Yes,
remember,
sir. Now,
there's another rule. There's Samasanta rule. So I have to cover that also. All of you know what Samasantas are, right?
The end of
You
the
have done it.
samasa.
Yeah. So maybe
Uh,
since we're covering Samasa class, keep in mind. So Samasa is made up of two Pratipadikams. And we all said the first Pratipadikam has to be stabilized, right? If there is an unstable ending like Chakara ending, Hakara ending, we stabilize it and then use it in the Samasa and do Sandhi with the Uttarapadam. We also have to know that once you finish forming this, once you finish coining the Samasa, you have to look out for is there a tweak in the ending? right? The entire samasa formation process stops with the last step of the samasa formation is there a samasanta rule to be applied? Samasanta rule means, do I have to tweak the ending? Okay, so you have to keep that in mind. There is a separate section in the samasa kanika where I've said where all do you have to tweak, right? That tweaking depends on, primarily it's a function of the ending word. Okay,
That
the
pur kind
samasanta.
of it.
Yeah, correct. Pur and pathin that we saw. Okay, now why I'm bringing it up here? The word ratri is also a samasanta special, and ratri will actually become ratram. Sorry, ratraha. If it is a ekadeshi. In a ekadeshi samasa, ratri changes to ratra. Therefore, if you want to say the midnight, right, it is madhya ratra.
But
Madhya ratra.
Navaratram, right?
There the lingam changes. Okay. Otherwise, Ratri becoming Ratra is same. Ratri has become Ratra, whether it is Ekadeshi or a Sankhya Purva. But Sankhya Purvam Ratram Napumsakalingam. That's a slightly a rule which says if it is preceded by a number, it becomes Napumsakalingam. Otherwise, it's Pullingam.
Okay. Okay.
So the Samasanta rule, remember Samasanta rule can not only tweak the ending, it can even tweak the lingam also. Keep that in mind. It can just do a tweak, either the ending and therefore the lingam also. So Ratri being a strilinga word changes to Ratraha as a pullinga word in a Ekadeshi Samasa.
So Ratrihi is a Strilinga word, and when we say Madhya Ratraha, it becomes a Pullinga word. So is
Pullinga word,
it so?
correct.
Have I understood correctly?
That's right, right. So if Ratri is used in a Ekadeshi Samasa, it becomes Ratraha. Right.
But if it is like Pancharatram, then it becomes Napunsakalinga.
Yeah, that's a different. It's not
That's
part of this
what
Samasa. That comes under Sankhya Purva Ratra. It's a different Samasa. That's why I'm not covering it there. But as part of
okay.
Ekadesha, I'm just covering that Ratri becomes Ratraha. In fact, even Ahan becomes Anhaha. That's why Madhyanha it is. Though Ahan is a Napumsakalinga word, it changes to Anhaha as a Pullinga word.
Sir, is that Navaratram Dvigu Samasa?
Navaratram is a Dvigu Samasa, correct.
Okay. Okay.
Collection of 11 nights. Since you're all bringing that point, just note that in a Dvigu Samasa, the word Ratri becomes, collection becomes Ratra and becomes Ratram as a Napumsakalinga. Okay, so Ekadeshi Samasa is done.
Yes, sir. Very interesting also, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, with that, we have reached the end of time today. What we will do is, and it's a nice place to stop. What we have stopped is the entire this thing, right? We have covered the Samanya Vibhakti Tatpurusha, the first box is covered. And there we should add more. I should say Panchami, then Shashti, Saptami, and Ekadeshi. Right? We have covered all that. Then comes Karmadharya. The next bucket is Karmadharya. Within Tatpurusha Samasa, there's a Karmadharya, followed by Dvigu, followed by Nang Prabhritaya. That is where we are right now. Karmadharya is just covered in one Kanika. There are 9 templates. Karmadharya Samasa. Why is it called Karmadharya? What is that speciality? We know that Tatpurusha means some Vibhakti relationship of the first word with second word, right? Now, what is Karmadharya?
Both are in Pratama, sir.
Yes. Both are in Prathama and it's called Samanadikarana. Both refer to the same Vastu. Okay. Both refer to the same Vastu. If you look at all the compounds here, all the templates, Meghashyama, Divya Manohara, Neela Kasha, everything, there are 2 words in the compound, but the object they refer to is only one. Okay. That's called Samanadikarana. Both the words, though there are 2 words, both of them actually refer to only one actual Vastu. Whereas so far we have seen two things, right?
This is already done, no, sir? Karmadarya, I think the first class itself we did it. I remember
I
that
don't know, but
Neela Megha.
yeah, we have done. Okay, first class we did as an example. This is where we are formally covering all the templates.
Okay.
Or shall we cover Karmadharya fully today? Just take another 5 minutes, and then it will be like.
No, sir.
I
No,
think
sir.
Karmadharya
Lot of
also
doubts.
has a lot of things,
Yeah.
because the next Kanika, Karmadharya, Prakanda Matallika, and okay, there are two Kanikas for Karmadharya. So I think we'll cover it in the next.
Yes, sir. Karmadhaya will have a lot of discussion, sir.
Karmadhara will have lot of doubts, sir. At least I have lot of
Correct.
doubts, sir.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Karmadharya. So we'll just do a gist of it. Karmadharya has 9 templates within it. They are named like this, like Visheshna Purva, Visheshna Ubhaya, Upamana Purva, Upamana Uttara, like that. There are 9 templates. We'll go each and study what they are. But why is it called Karmadharya? What is that's in that name? Or why is it a different bucket? Because of this property that though there are two words, they are not two different things, right? The both are in Samanadhikarana. Both talk about the same thing. Okay, so that is why it is called Karmadharya. 9 templates, we will do that, and then after studying 9 templates, there is I have another Kanika which gives you an explanation of a special template called the Prashamsa Vachana Uttarapada. Okay, so
So
with these we can finish the Karmadharya.
this Tatpurusha is also talking about the same thing only, no? Both the
Same
words?
thing means no. Tatpurusha, there are two entities. If you say Rama Putraha, then Rama is another entity, Putra is another entity, and they are related by Shashti Vibhakti.
So it refers to Putraha only, no? Then
No, the Pradhana is different, but we are saying the Purvapadam is different and Uttarapadam is different. They are two different objects having a relationship, right?
yeah. How is it
But
different in Karmadarya?
In Karmadharya, there are two different words, but not they all refer the same object. If you take Ganga Nadi,
Ramaputra.
Ganga Nadi, Ganga is one word, Nadi is one word, but what we talk about, they both refer to it's the same Nadi that we are calling it as Ganga.
Correct, sir. If I say Dasharatha Putraha, it refers to only Rama only, no?
No, that's a Pradhana. You're looking at Pradhanyam. I'm looking at the two words. The two words that you're using are Dasharatha. Dasharatha is a separate person, right?
Yes.
And Putra,
Ganga
Putra
and
is a separate word.
yes, yes.
So we are actually
How is
having two different, yeah, we are having two different entities sharing a relationship. Fine.
yes, yes.
Whereas in Karmadharya, there are no two different entities. It's the same entity having two different words, and there is a
Oh,
Samanadhikaranam there. That's why it's
oh, got
Karmadharya
it,
Samana.
got it, got it,
Example,
got it.
like blue sky. When you say Neela Akasha, Neela is not a different entity by itself. They both refer to the Akasha.
Okay. Same entity represented by two different words. That's how it is.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, got it.
That is the definition of Karmadharya. So when you say Karmadharya Samasa, the meaning or why is Samasa called Karmadharya? Because it's saying Samanadhikaranam. The Adhikaranam, the basis, Adhikaranam is the basis. The underlying basis which these two words describe are the same. There's only one entity that both of them describe. Both the words point to the same entity. That's called Samanadhikarana and therefore Karmadhari. Therefore, that's the reason that both become Prathama Bhakti. Like Uma, you're saying, right? One way to look at this, the Vigraha Vakyam will be Prathama Bhakti for both. Reason the Vigraha
Yes,
Vakyam is Prathama for both is because both are actually pointing to the same thing. That's why it's
correct.
Prathama for both. So you can look at it either way. We can say there is no Vibhakti relationship between themselves. Both are actually Prathama Bhakti because both are pointing to the same object. And therefore, either you can look at it as Prathama Vibhakti, both take Prathama Vibhakti and therefore Karmadharya, or you can even imagine it as both talk about the same thing, Samanadhikaranam, so it is Karmadharya. Either way you remember it, it's the same. Remember that both are getting Prathama Vibhakti for the reason that both talk about the same thing.
Got it, sir.
If they have a mutual relationship between themselves, obviously it will come back to one of the Dvitiya to Saptami Vibhakti. Okay, so this again mathematically, since Dvitiya Vibhakti to Saptami Vibhakti indicate that there are two objects having some Vibhakti relationship, therefore it comes under that. And if it is Prathama Bhakti, which means we are having, they don't have a relationship between themselves, right? They're not two different entities having relation between themselves. They're just two entities in Prathama pointing to I mean, not two entities, sorry. There are two words pointing to one entity. Okay, I think with that we will stop today, and then okay, and then next is what? Next I'm thinking we will have this theory classes on Friday nights and go back to our Padya Pata on Saturday nights. That should be fine, right?
Yes, sir. That should be fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because otherwise we don't have to stop one for the other. And I think this theory is like, in that case we can keep on doing this theory slowly. Every Friday we will keep moving here and understanding theory. And I think it's also good, because otherwise we never always doing Padya Pata like Buji was saying. It's like you don't get time to look at the Kanikas, look at the Bodhika and all. So I thought this method is good. We'll spend one day a week, going through this theory part, this Kanikas and Bodhikas, understand. And of course, we also have to do this Padyapata to see the practical implementation of the learnings, right? How the poets have implemented it. And doing both will make sure your concepts will get ingrained better, and you will become better and better. So hope this approach is fine, right? 2 classes a week.
Awesome, sir. Very good. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much,
Yeah.
sir, for the trouble that we give. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
at least for me,
so 3 days.
basics being covered is something really good, sir.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying we'll focus on the basics as much as possible in the theory class, so that we're not worried about holding up the other class, right? So we'll continue Friday class, the Saturday class, where we take a verse and we'll look at, from the verse we will learn the Kanikas and all that. But I think all of you felt that it's good to have this class also, where we go through all the Kanikas and Samasas once, so that we are Kanikas and Bodhikas once, so we understand the concepts. And of course, the Padya classes will reinforce it in how we are learning. I think together it will be a good way for us to improve faster. What I felt. So let's have both. And I think
Sir,
going ahead, I'm having a plan of not having the Wednesday class going ahead. So Uma, what we'll do going ahead is we will halt that Wednesday class at some logical point, and then make it like theory class and Saturday class for Padyam, and do that only going ahead.
Okay, sir.
We'll see.
Okay, sir.
We'll have to
Okay,
put
sir.
that in a logical point. Yeah.
sir, request you to cover Karakam after we are done with Samasas.
We will see. Yeah. Samasa itself is going to take a while. So when we finish that, we'll see. We'll go by, there's Karakam, there is Sankhya, I mean, theory has very, very interesting things. We will keep doing that. And now we can anyway keep doing that, because we are having the 2 classes now. Yeah.
For me, the most dreadful thing is that Sankhya. Sir. I don't know. I've never been able to make a mental model of that. There are just too many variations of that.
I'll probably go in order of, there, I think Usha, you can help. Whatever is in Kovida, we will cover. In that order, we'll cover. So I want to make sure the Kovida is covered. Okay.
Okay.
So that way it'll be
Kovida,
helpful
we
to you.
have Samasa. Sorry, sir.
Go ahead.
For Kovida, we have Samasas and Chandas. That's the major thing. And then
Only
we
2?
have Tadditas. Yeah.
Okay, Tadditas, fine.
Tadditas, yeah. The many, in each, there are 10 chapters. In each chapter, they have covered some 2, 3 Tadditas. So something
Okay,
like that.
fine. If you can give me a list of those Tadditas that they have covered, and then Samasas, anyway, I know. Samasas, Taddita list, Chandas. Chandas, anyway, we had one class already. We can have another, not issue.
The numbers
We'll
will
see.
help. The numbers, I don't know. Yeah. Numbers will
Numbers can be
definitely.
Numbers.
yeah.
Yes, sir. That
Numbers is
is
a bigger
always
one.
one.
Numbers is yeah. It's a like, I think a lot of other people are asking, so numbers may have more audience also. We'll do that. Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
these
We
are the
have
things.
all the Kanika.
Yeah, so the idea is this. So we'll cover all this in the Friday ones, and then we'll enjoy the verses also on the Saturday ones. I've kept it at 9 both the days so that we can finish by 10:30. And Friday being a weekend next day, and Saturday being a weekend day, I think should suit most of us, hopefully. So let's see how it goes.
The
Right?
homework, sir. Then homework discussion.
Homework discussion also we have to bring in. I think once we get the Wednesday schedule also to Saturday, we will follow the same pattern here also. Okay,
Okay, sir. That
we'll
will
do that.
help, sir.
That will help, I'm sure. Yeah. Okay. Fine then. Thank you all. We'll close for today.
Thank you
ధన్యవాదాలు.
so
Should I
much, sir.
Next,
stop the
the
Thank you
meeting
so
next
much,
Friday.
sir.
Yeah.
should I stop the recording now?
Yeah, you can stop the recording. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you so much.